an extremely important factor in involving dads for their children's benefit. Then we're going to talk about some implementation, how to implement Understanding Dad and some of the various audiences that can use it. And then we'll touch on some additional resources for moms and some special bundle offers that we have promotion for currently. And then we'll have an opportunity for you guys to have comments and questions. As you can see, we have a lot to cover today, so I'd love to go ahead and get started. Who we are at National Fatherhood Initiative. We're a nonprofit, nonpartisan organization founded in 1994 to combat the most consequential social trend of our time, which is the widespread fatherlessness in the lives of our nation's children. NFI's mission is to improve the well-being of children by increasing the proportion of children growing up with involved, responsible, and committed fathers in their lives. We all know that fathers can be involved and not responsible. As well, they can be involved and not committed. We believe at NFI that a good father should be all three, that it takes an involved, responsible, and committed father to improve the well-being of their children. So let's start with getting you guys involved in this conversation and frame the discussion that we're going to have moving forward with a quick poll question. Take a look at this picture and tell me which one of these people is going to be a parent. Is it the pregnant woman? Is it the dad? Is it both or neither? I'm going to give you a couple seconds to respond.
All right, Lisa, it looks like about 96% of the people have answered that both people in that picture are going to be the parents.
Thank you, Carrie. Absolutely, that is the right answer. Both of these, the mom and the dad, are going to be parents. Even before the child comes into the world, it is important that as practitioners that we approach mom and dad with the frame of mind that says even dad, even though he's not carrying the baby, he still wants to be involved. He still needs to have all of the information and all of the knowledge and know everything that's going on with that pregnancy even before the child gets here. So if we start to work with that heart that both mom and dad are going to be a parent, then that's a great place to begin. Again, you're going to see this webinar agenda come up a few times throughout this presentation because I am super excited to be able to talk with you guys about Understanding Dad. So one of the reasons is that I want you to be able to follow along and see exactly where we're moving and what topic we're on, but also it helps me stay focused because I could talk about this issue all day. I'm really excited about this issue. I'm super excited about this program, and so I want to be able to stay on track and to keep us all focused. So one of the questions that we've been asked numerously in our work with fathers is, what do you have for mothers? NFI is the nation's #1 provider of resources for fathers. We developed this unique program to help mothers improve the relationships that they have with fathers for the benefit of their children. So what happens is that we've gotten this question from a lot of our partners, including departments of corrections, many of the organizations utilizing our services already, asking us, what do we have for moms? You guys are doing excellent work with helping fathers become involved, responsible, and committed. But what is it that you have for moms? So our original response to that question was that we help educate, equip, and engage fathers around being more involved, responsible, and committed. But then we started taking a look at that further and going back to those partners, those resources and organizations and departments of corrections and all of you guys out there in the field that are doing this fatherhood work, and asked for some feedback. And so we had a survey, and we received really positive feedback that helped us determine that there was a need out there that needed to be addressed. What we found out from the results of the survey is that 95% of the survey respondents said that we should indeed create a resource that helps moms improve their communication skills with dad, and that they would not at all find it strange or odd that a father-focused organization would create such a line of programming. 70% of those surveyed indicated that there was a high need for a high-intensity group-based program, which is a workshop that has about 6 or 12 sessions in it. And so in our work, in our effort to do this work and still maintain true to our mission of helping fathers be more involved, responsible, and committed, and for the well-being of their children, we created this resource called about Understanding Dad. So before we even jump into all of this, what I'd like to start out with is talking about what Understanding Dad is or is not. Understanding Dad is not a typical parenting program for moms. There are a number of programs that help moms be better parents. Again, going back to the fact that we are a fatherhood organization whose mission is to help fathers be more engaged and involved and responsible to their children for the benefit and the well-being of the child. What we are trying to accomplish with Understanding Dad is to help mom become more aware and to help her have more positive communication skills that will ultimately affect the father's involvement and the well-being of the child. Again, what Understanding Dad is an awareness and communication program for moms so that they can more effectively work with fathers of their children for their children's benefit. So let's move into talking about how and why moms are an extremely important factor in involving dads for their children's benefit. One of the things that we know at National Fatherhood Initiative, again, we've been doing this since 1994, is that this whole issue of father absence is critical and crucial. Children in father-absent homes are 2 to 5 times more likely to live in poverty, to fail in school, develop emotional or behavioral problems, abuse drugs, be abused and neglected, become involved in crime, and even commit suicide. These are some of the ill effects when fathers are not involved. One of the benefits, the good thing about it is that there are tremendous benefits to father involvement. Children with involved fathers are more likely to have better cognitive outcomes, even as infants, higher self-esteem, less depression as teenagers, higher grades, test scores, and overall academic achievement, lower levels of drug and alcohol use, and higher levels of empathy and other pro-social behaviors. So as you can see, when fathers are involved, there's so many wonderful benefits to the child. Everything that we do around families in this country ultimately benefits children. And so if you're a child-centric organization where you're helping families be stronger and raise children in this culture that are going to do well, it is imperative that you understand why having fathers involved in raising their children and being involved, responsible, and committed is a very important issue. So why get mom in on all this fatherhood involvement stuff? This is where I get super excited because I could talk about this issue all day. But I'm going to try to stay focused for the sake of our time frame and our 60 minutes together today. But moms are equal beneficiaries of their children's well-being. When fathers are involved, moms benefit, not just for the relationship, but for the sake of their children. Based on research showing the importance of father involvement, fathers are even more involved when mom supports it. We have a study, a report that we have online at fatherhood.org called Toxic Culture. And basically what we found out after we surveyed some dads is that when mom is supportive of their involvement, they want to be involved more. They want to do more. It's really simple, basic behavior. When someone gives you praise or someone supports what you're doing and they acknowledge that your participation and your involvement is important, you want to do it more. And just kind of as a sidebar, when I was a child and I was 5 years old, I loved reading. And so one day I was at my grandma's and someone, a family friend came in and really was just kind of excited to see me and my little short self reading in the corner somewhere. And so the praise and the energy that she gave me about reading made me want to read more. So back to my point that when moms are supportive, when they support this involvement, then fathers want to be involved more. If mom isn't on board with father involvement, she can actually become a deterrent, and her children could experience the ill effects of father absence. And we've talked already about what some of those consequences of father absence are. So we definitely want to do all we can, and we're super excited. Again, I can't say that enough. You'll hear me saying that for the next 60 minutes because I love this program, I love the issues, and I love what it's about, and I hope that by the end of this webinar you will too. So let's get you jumped back into the conversation with another poll question. Which of these issues has a significant impact on father involvement? Is it A, mom's attitude and awareness about the father of her children? Is it B, mom's relationship with her own dad? Is it C, mom's lack of skills and understanding of the importance of father involvement? Is it D, mom's negative interactions and communication with the father of her children? Or E, all of the above? I'll give you a few minutes to note your answer.
All right, Lisa, it looks like 80%, 95% of our attendees chose E, all of the above.
Exactly, exactly. The answer is E, all of the above. It is very important for moms to understand that their attitude about the father of their children has a huge impact on that relationship that the child sees, that they feel, and that the level of involvement decreases based on a negative attitude. Also, there needs to be some self-awareness involved with kind of where these feelings come from, how are they rooted, and why is it that the feelings are there. Also, mom's relationship with her own dad has a great impact on how she was fathered as a child, how she grew up, and the relationship she had with her dad will strongly impact the way that she has that relationship with the father of her child. And additionally, mom's lack of skills and understanding of the importance of father involvement is so crucial. We have to help these moms get the skills and understanding of why father involvement is critical. It's so important that they understand the importance. I hear so often single moms saying that they do it all, and that's wonderful that they're doing a great job. We applaud them for that. But father involvement is irreplaceable. Mom's negative interactions and communication with the father of her children, again, greatly impacts that relationship and the well-being of the child. Let's move into talking a little bit about how some of that behavior looks that mom is exhibiting that may hinder or facilitate dad's involvement. The terminology that we use around this issue is called maternal gatekeeping. So what is maternal gatekeeping? It refers to a mom's protected beliefs about the desirability of a father's involvement in their child's life and the behaviors acted upon that either facilitate or hinder collaborative child rearing between the parents. Simply stated, the way that the mom behaves will either encourage or hinder collaborative child rearing between the parents. If you have a mom that is struggling with behaving in a way that is interfering with dad's involvement, then the difficulty and the level of difficulty for them when they both try to co-parent this child is going to be higher. And the flip side of that is that if she facilitates being the gateway and the opening to that father involvement, then it can support a very positive co-parenting relationship. Many times the mother's gatekeeping behavior can prevent or reduce the father's access to their children. We see this time and time again. We understand that the mother's gatekeeping behavior is stopping the father from being involved. We get fathers so excited and prepared to re-enter the child's life and to get back involved. They arrange to pick up little Johnny at 4 o'clock at mom's house, or if you have a situation where the two parents aren't together and there's a third party that does at a drop-off point, maybe the mom doesn't show up or what have you. We see a lot of these behaviors occurring oftentimes, and certainly we understand that it's prevention and it's not going to help facilitate a positive co-parenting relationship in a way that is going to increase the father's access to the children. Moms often lack the self-awareness and communication skills to improve their relationship with their children's father, even if for the benefit of their children. So even when mom knows the issue, that she understands and she realizes that the child needs the father in their life, her lack of understanding and awareness and communication skills will hinder her ability to help support that relationship. This whole maternal gatekeeping issue we have addressed in what we call Mom as Gateway. It's a less intensive 3-session father topic workshop, and it can be combined with Understanding Dad. It really goes into all of the things that I just discussed with you about the whole concept of maternal gatekeeping. So here's another quick poll question. In your opinion, can moms oftentimes let their personal feelings about their personal experience with dad affect their willingness to let him be involved in their children's lives? Yes or no?
Lisa, it looks like 96% of our attendees voted yes.
Awesome, great. Certainly, all of us know somebody, a girlfriend, a sister-in-law, somebody who is carrying around some baggage from a past relationship. When you have personal experience, negative personal experience that you're carrying around with you, it's going to affect your willingness to understand why it's important for the father of the child to be involved, and certainly it's going to affect the interactions and the relationships that you have with the father of that child. It's important that moms understand that dad's involvement is important to their child's well-being. We've said that several times. I want to underscore that again. This Understanding Dad curriculum is about helping moms understand how getting dad involved, supporting his involvement, is going to be important to their child's well-being. In addition to understanding, mom and dad need to work together for the benefit of their children. So the only way that this well-being can occur for the child is when mom and dad work together. it is essential that mom put aside that baggage, those ill feelings from past personal experiences with the dad, and help support and allow his involvement. One of the things that I want to be clear about is that we are certainly going to state on the record that barring any violent or otherwise harmful behaviors that may have been exhibited by the father, as the protector and primarily, in most cases, the custodial parent, the mom has a protective belief, as we talked about a little bit ago, to protect her child. And if a mom feels that there are violent or otherwise harmful behaviors that are going to be exhibited or that has been exhibited by the father, we are not encouraging that mom to put aside those feelings and those protective beliefs and move forward with getting him involved. We want to go on the record again saying that we are encouraging moms to support father involvement, barring any violent or otherwise harmful behaviors that may have been exhibited by the father. So again, let's take a look again back at our agenda and see where we are in this presentation. Let's move into talking about some implementation strategies and how to implement Understanding Dad, and also which audiences that we believe that this Understanding Dad program would be useful for. So the Understanding Dad is an 8-session group-based program, and it covers the following topics: my life as mom, my father's impact, my mother's impact, me and my children's father, the impact on my children, patterns of communication, open, safe communication, and how to listen. Every time I read that last session, I always laugh and shake my head because we know that women have such a hard time listening. Oh my goodness, I could talk about this forever. We need to sometimes stop and not talk and learn how to listen because most oftentimes we're the ones who are doing most of the talking. The complete program kit for Understanding Dad includes a Facilitators Manual, 10 Mother's Handbooks, a CD-ROM, and a DVD. The Understanding Dad Training Institute is available but not required to run the program. But let me stop and talk about that for a little bit. I believe that because this is such a crucial and critical subject matter, it is really important that you allow the experts, us here at NFI, to come out and train your staff of facilitators on this curriculum. Just knowing the subject matter, you get women in a room who all like to talk, and they're talking about the fathers of their children. You can just imagine how many issues and what that's going to entail. There's going to be fireworks. And so we have so much in the training that we think is valuable and necessary for you to really go into this subject matter 100% and really being effective in the work that you're doing with helping moms Understanding Dad. But that being said, you can purchase this curricula and use it out of the box. We have written it and developed it in a way that is easy to use. It's very user-friendly. You can open it up, you can read it, and you can begin facilitating this curricula, or this program, tomorrow. If you purchase it, you get it, you open it up, you can start your workshops right away with the moms. It's very important that you get it because this is too important of an issue for you not to help facilitate in balancing the work that you're doing for strengthening families and increasing the well-being of children. So let's take a look at what's inside. The Facilitators Manual, if you open it up, what you'll see is that there's session number and title. There's a session description that talks about, that provides an overview of what the moms will be experiencing for that particular session. There's pre-session procedures of things that you need to do to get prepared for that session. There's an activity number, and it's labeled. There's a time that's related to that activity that will help you plan out your workshop. Each session is 2 hours long, so the activities give you the exact amount of time out of those 2 hours that it would take to facilitate that particular activity. And then there's a list of icons that show you what materials you're going to need for this particular session. And all of the materials are basic: flip chart, markers, pencil, paper, timer. This is the mother's handbook. And I mentioned that you get 10 of these handbooks with the curricula, with the program kit, that allows the mother to follow along. It helps enhance her learning ability and also emphasize key points. She can follow along with you as a facilitator. You're presenting this information, and also she can write in it. There's activities that she can write notes in, so that she can take this home, use it, open it up, and refer to it. Also, it comes with a CD-ROM and a DVD. The CD-ROM content includes a customizable marketing poster that you see there so beautifully. You can print as many of these as you like. It helps you advertise for this program. You can put your time and the date that you'll be having this. And also, it comes with the pre- and post survey and scoring materials. And then also PSA videos that complement the session content. Let's go back to the pre- and post survey and scoring materials for just a second. This is such a valuable tool to have when you're doing work to help moms understanding dad. Because what it does, it allows you to have some outcome measurements that not only you can use as a program to estimate and to evaluate and assess how the behaviors and the attitudes are changing in the moms that you've served, but also so that you can provide those outcome measurements and return on investment, if you will, to the funders of your program. So this is a wonderful tool, and it's found on the CD that you have that comes with the program kit. So what audiences is this Understanding Dad program appropriate for? Community action agencies, other community-based organizations, corrections, post-release, education and Head Start programs, educational, general education like early ed schools, faith-based community, government agencies, healthcare, Healthy Start, military installations, pregnancy resource centers, and YMCA. So as you can see, there's a various amount of different audiences that can benefit and that can utilize this program kit. So let's get into some implementation suggestions. First of all, you can run Understanding Dad as a standalone program for moms. Even if you're not serving dads, you can use Understanding Dad with your mom. You can also offer Understanding Dad as a complementary program to your fatherhood program. So for those of you that may already be using NFI's 24/7 Dad program, or if you're looking to start work with fathers and you'd like to have the 24/7 Dad to work with your fathers, it's a great complement to have the dads doing 24/7 Dad and the moms working on Understanding Dad at the same time. And then finally, add to incorporate NFI's Mama's Gateway that we mentioned earlier, where we talked about the gatekeeping issue, father topic workshop to help kind of support and strengthen your work with Understanding Dad. So before we start wrapping up, I'd like to provide you with some tips for engaging mom in this program, because surely you want me to come and visit you and train you on this Understanding Dad, and I'm sure that I will hear from you after this webinar. And so when you start thinking about, okay, my heart is saying I'm ready to commit to this, I want to purchase this, I want to get some training, or even if you just want to purchase the curriculum kit and you kind of want to move forward, how do I start getting moms engaged in this program. So we thought we'd just give you just a couple of tips. First, ask about dad's involvement during initial intake process with moms. A lot of your organizations have intake processes when people come into your organization to receive services, to request services. You have paperwork that you have them fill out. What you want to do is make sure that in that initial face-to-face that you ask, where are the dads? And you ask about the level of dad's involvement. Create opportunities for dads and their kids to do activities together and market to moms as a mom's day off. So you're out of school, or maybe your office or your organization meets in a school. You have the dad and the children in the gym doing some fun physical activities together, and you have moms in a separate room attending an Understanding Dad session. Also, you can have a kickoff event for the whole family. Invite everybody in to celebrate the kicking off of the Understanding Dad workshop. Give them a little bit of information as a teaser about what it is that mom will be learning about when she's participating in these sessions. And then also, if you have mandated clients, providing program credit. If they're going through custody dispute issues and they have some parenting classes or something that they need to get credit for, helping the family reunify or strengthen in a way, not necessarily that the dad needs to have a reunification plan with the mom, but just that he needs to reunify himself in the sense of co-parenting, having a reunified relationship, communication relationship, if you will, with the mom. All of these reasons are great reasons to have moms engaged in this program. So a lot of time when you have moms in these situations and they have to do this work anyway, it's a great incentive that you can provide them with perhaps some program credit that will allow them to get credit for participating. And hopefully and certainly the goal is that they're not just doing it for the program credit, but that they're doing, when they get started, what we are excited about is that they will get invested. They will get thrilled about all of this stuff that they had no idea about. This renewed understanding, it's a renewed skill set that they have now to really take a look at how they've been behaving and how they want to behave for the benefit of their children with regard in relationship to the father of their children. So some final top reasons to move forward with Understanding Dad. Understanding Dad helps moms understand why father involvement is important, improves mom's awareness of how her relationship with her own dad impacts her relationship with the father of her child, improves communication between mom and dad. Many service providers have identified this as a big issue, that moms and dads do not know how to communicate with each other. It helps increase mom's positive interactions with the father of her child. It directly impacts the well-being of her child. And mom's involvement is involving dad will help you reach your overall goals for parental and family support for children. So if you have parent involvement quotas that you need to meet, this is a great way to get moms involved and to meet some of those overall goals, programming goals of yours. So let's move into talking a little bit about the additional resources that we have for moms and our special offers. Someone who was brilliant here at our organization came up with this idea of having pocketbooks for moms. So we have pocketbooks for moms and pocketbooks for new moms. And in these pocketbooks, it has some really great, valuable information, some beautiful quality graphics that helps mom with just some quick tools and tips for this whole idea of understanding dad. So in the pocketbooks for moms, in part one, it talks about how your baby benefits from involving dad. for the baby, it talks in part 2, it talks about how you benefit from involving dad, how you benefit, and part 3 for him, how he benefits from being involved. And that is the pocketbook for new moms. And the pocketbook for mom, it talks about in part 1, preparing to share. So getting prepared, helping moms getting prepared to talk with dad. In part 2 of the pocketbook for moms, it talks about creating calm in the eye of the storm. Certainly, creating a calm environment in which to talk with dad will help moms feel a little bit more comfortable about approaching this subject. And then part 3, in the heat of the moment. Certainly, we can see how valuable that would be in maintaining and reestablishing a calm environment. So these are some great pocketbooks, and they're supplemental supporting resources. You can use them as learning-enhancing tools in the sessions. You can provide them as incentives for when moms complete all 8 sessions. And also you can use them as giveaways for moms at different events and activities. So currently, we have some promotional bundles that I'd like to just take a little bit of time and talk with you about. If you are excited about this program, as I am, and I'm sure that I'm going to hear from you so we can talk about getting you guys all set up, I'd love to come out and come to where you are and really talk about why this is important and help train and your staff of facilitators so that you guys can get involved and get as excited as I am about this. But we are living in some economical troubling times and some that are challenging. And so one of the things we always like to do is see how we can help make it easier on your pockets to do the work that is necessary. So the first bundle that we have is really a everything you need with Understanding Dad's introduction bundle. Again, let me point out at the top of the slide, you'll see that in red it says the deadline is June 30th, 2013. So this promotional offer, these offers won't last forever. So if you have the slightest bit of inclination after this webinar, please call me and talk with me, because you can't go online and take advantage of these special offers and these bundles. You need to call me and talk to me. And my contact information will be at the end of this presentation. But for A, we have, you can get the Mama's Gateway Father Topics Workshop. You can get 5 packs of pocketbooks for moms. You can get a 1-day training at your location and the complete program kit. And we reviewed the contents of that program kit previously. So all of this for $4,000, which is over $600 in savings. So this is a great way to get everything all at once so that you can be prepared to get this program underway. For B, we have the new pocketbooks for moms. So if you're looking to purchase some pocketbooks, this is a great opportunity for you to get a 1 5-pack and get 50% off the second 5-pack. C, program complement bundle. If you buy one 24/7 Dad or an Inside Out Dad 2nd edition, or 7 Habits of a 24/7 Dad, or a Dr. Dad, any of those, then you can get 25% off of your Understanding Dad program kit. And that is $137.25 savings. And then finally, the program complement training bundle. If you buy any one 1-day curricula training of any of those that I mentioned before, 24/7 Dad, Inside Out Dad, Dr. Dad, any of those, then you can get 25% off a 2nd day of Understanding Dad training, which is a savings of $999. So again, please call. Talk to me about these bundles. Talk to me before the deadline. Surely you don't need to implement it before the deadline's over, but you do need to make the purchase, especially if you're thinking about getting a training. You don't have to rush and have the training immediately, but you do have to pay for the training before the deadline. And surely I would want you to call me immediately and as soon as you can, once you've determined that you have it within your budget to get this work done. This work is very critical. It's very important, and it's such a special issue. getting moms to understanding why dads need to be involved. And I think that we all need to be doing this work. So now I'd like to take the last few minutes that we have on this webinar and open it up for questions or comments.
All right, Lisa, we've gotten a lot of good questions here. The first one asks, can we reference the statistics that support the premise that moms do not know how to communicate with their fathers, with the fathers of their children?
Certainly, all of the statistics about why fathers are important and their involvement is important to this work. But what, so that I'm clear, what we want to say is that moms struggle with communicating with dad. And so certainly stating that and referencing that is important. But again, we want to make sure that the way that we're referencing and stating it is that, yes, indeed, moms do struggle with communicating with dad.
Okay. Next question, do you have any tips for how to target the moms that the organizations aren't necessarily working with right now because they're only working with the fathers?
Surely. A lot of times what you find is that when you have outside funding to help, that it helps supporting your work, in the fine print it says that you're serving, maybe that's your goal or your intent is to serve fathers, but what it says is that you can't exclude moms. So a lot of times just advertising about the work that you're doing for the benefit of the children to strengthen families will help you kind of think outside of the box and how to get moms into your program and to take advantage of your services. What I find is that primarily moms always are the ones that are reaching out for services. So that if you have this opportunity to provide understanding dad to the moms, reaching out to those who are not necessarily already a part of your programming would involve in kind of really taking a look at what's in your community and what partnerships that you need to strengthen. So there may be partnerships with government agencies, with state or county entities that are servicing moms that you can be servicing as well. So building upon those relationships with those organizations, having a cross-referral system, maybe you are providing services that they may need and vice versa.
Okay. Next question. Someone wants to know how they would get the statistics that we quote regarding how important it is for a father to be a part of a kid's life.
That is a great question. We at National Fatherhood Initiative have what we call Father Facts 6th edition. It is our Bible for, so to speak, our report that has a various large amount of information about the issue of father absence and the promotion of father involvement. These statistics are quoted countrywide. People come to Father Facts 6th edition for that very reason, to help them to support the work that they're trying to do with fathers. And again, the name of that resource is called our Father Facts 6th edition, and you can certainly purchase that online at fathersource.org.
Okay, great, Lisa. A lot of people have been asking if this is an evidence-based curriculum.
I will actually ask a question about, in order for me to answer that, I would need to ask more the question of what it is that they're defining as evidence-based, because a lot of us have a different definition of what we consider evidence-based is. So certainly anyone who has that question, please call me directly so that we can talk a little bit more and unpack that, because I think that is a great question.
Okay, let's see. You guys are all asking great questions. One person wants to know if they can see a sample of the program.
Sure. Give me a call. Again, I I'll have my information up. You see it there at the bottom of the screen. There's my direct number and my email. You can email me, and we do have samples that we're able to provide you. And also, this webinar will be is being recorded, and so certainly any of the information that is in it, where I reference resources or information or statistics, you can receive a copy of this recording.
Okay. A lot of people want to know, are we planning to offer can we offer this program in Canada or outside of the United States?
That would be something that I'd have to go and refer to my colleagues and my superiors about. We have had organizations outside of the country use our curricula, so certainly it is possible to use it. The training might be a little bit more sensitive depending on where the location is.
Okay.
But certainly anybody outside of the country can purchase it, yes.
Okay. Another question, an attendee wants to know if this curriculum addresses moms who struggle with communication and trust with the father of their children who have children with multiple partners. And does the curriculum provide strategies to the leaders to address this concern?
Yeah, definitely the program offers an opportunity for, as I stated in the onset and throughout this presentation, to help moms strengthen their communication skills. First and foremost, we think that that's a very important and valuable piece of this whole Understanding Dad. That's why we do have 2 sessions dedicated to it in the program. As far as having multiple children by multiple fathers, I would certainly need to understand a little bit more about what issues are being presented there with regard to the father being involved. Is it with her child? Because that's what the focus is of this particular program, is that we want to help each mom understand and be aware of how to get the dads of their children involved. So again, that might be one of those questions that we need to talk a little bit more and unpack offline.
Okay, another question. A lot of people are obviously concerned about funds, and one person wants to know if Mom is Gateway, if that Father Topics workshop could be offered via webinar.
No, at this point, we're only offering it as a 1-day and a 2-day training.
Okay. See if anyone has any more questions, please go ahead and submit them now.
Okay, great, Carrie. Well, thank you guys so very much, and I'll just take this opportunity to say I really appreciate you taking out the time to join us. I know that any time that we provide new products, we love to do the best that we can at NFI to help you guys feel comfortable with what it is about, how you can use it, how it can be implemented, and to, again, offer you as much support as we can with regard to promotional opportunities so that you can afford to do this work. This work of involving moms and involving dads is so very important. We have so many wounded moms walking around with personal issues, and they're not understanding why it's so important for these fathers to be involved. Again, I will say before I close, barring any violent or harmful behaviors, it is critical that fathers are involved with their children, that they're involved, responsible, and committed, and that as moms, we're able to let go of our personal issues. We're able to understand and that we need to learn new skills that are going to help us with communicating with these fathers, and that all of this is not about us. It's not about us. It's about these children. It's about child well-being. It's something that I'm very passionate about, and I look forward to coming out and training you and your staff on facilitating this wonderful and amazing program called Understanding Dad. Thank you guys all so much for for your time, and please don't forget to complete the post survey.